Welcome back to Guillens World here on Guillens Baseball, our YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe. Obviously, it's a bilingual show, so sometimes you have to show in Spanish, sometimes in English. This is Guillens World English version. Welcome, Mr. Ozzie Guillen. Oni, welcome to the show.
Good to be back, back-to-back weeks. MLB season is rolling around, and it looks like Chicago is finally going to have some good baseball weather, which is what we all want to see. That means no more excuses. Good weather for the Cubs, good weather for the Sox, and great weather for the fans to be out there drinking and enjoying themselves. So it's something to look forward to.
Well, everything around big leagues, it's major league, it's been pretty fun. You know, teams, they're not supposed to be where they play. A team, they be very disappointed about the way they play. Very interesting months between April and May about, the differential, like, wow, some team play up to the capacity, some teams just like very surprised ball club. And it's something nice to see because the predictions have been, not right up to right now.
So what do you mean the predictions have not been?
Well,
right
I say
now?
Cleveland Indians is going to be terrible.
Yeah, I mean,
the Guardians, sorry, the Guardians will be terrible.
isn't that the, well,
Yeah.
if we had money, they'd make you,
Minnesota
like they put
Twins.
a Chuck, they'd make Chuck
Okay,
Garfien.
Minnesota
money in the jar.
Twins, they're not going to play the way they're playing right now. The White Sox,
I think-
they'd be all by 10.
So I'm going to say this. So I'm going to touch upon that. So there's two cases. Everyone thought Boston Red Sox were going to be horrible last year. They were good. Everyone thought the Twins were going to be amazing last year.
They weren't
They
good.
weren't good. How important are injuries and teams coming off, possibly getting hot? Can predictions be off in 1 year and a team be completely awful and then be amazing the next year?
Yes, because baseball, I think out of all the major sports,
Look at Anaheim.
baseball, exactly. Anaheim's playing great, and maybe this is the year that Anaheim puts it together with Rendon, healthy Mike Trout, healthy Ohtani. Maybe this is the year that they finally figured out after 4 or 5, 6 years of them trying to do this offensively. Maybe this is the year that they put it together. So I think that baseball, what I was getting at was, it's probably the hardest sport to predict as far as what's going to happen.
There's too many people involved.
Yes, and the rosters are too big, too many people involved. This is not the NBA. This is not the NFL that you could probably pinpoint in like this team. That's what makes baseball so exciting, at least for me, that I'm a purist. I love, we do that every year. You pick this team's going to be good, this team's going to be bad. We really don't know. We're just taking educated guesses.
Even weekly, you see one week team playing outstanding.
Well, we're coming off of Pirates winning a series versus the Dodgers, hottest team in baseball.
Right, and then that's another beautiful thing about baseball.
Unpredictable.
And trust me, we all bet. I'm sure our fans out there, if you guys don't use it, you guys got to use our picks when we start making them. We use betting apps, FanDuel and PointsBet and all those. You see it every day that, it's hard to make money. You think, oh, for sure the Dodgers are going to win, then they get swept. Then the Arizona Diamondbacks are almost 500, and they just called Alek Thomas
up,
and he has as many hits as Bobby Witt Jr. already. So you really don't know what's going to happen week to week. That's what makes it really exciting. Do you feel like any team can get hot and run off 6, 7 straight? Absolutely. You also have to see who they're playing against. The Yankees are absolutely on fire.
Yeah.
Like they just walked off Toronto yesterday. It was also a great ball club. I spoke to Alex Cora with the Red Sox.
he just got ejected.
Yeah.
We're filming this game, filming the show. Obviously, we're not live, but Alex just got ejected on a ball. I just tweeted he's had enough.
I think
it was a good ejection.
I think he's very frustrated, but I think he probably gets a free pass this year.
Because he did so well last year. So I want to touch upon a couple of subjects as we run in. So top news, we're going to start off right off the bat with a really good one. So Alek Thomas, who grew up in the White Sox clubhouse, and when I mean grew up in the White Sox clubhouse, in the years that Ozzie was the manager, he was the kid that he was not in uniform, meaning because he was too young to bat boy, but he was in the stadium every single day, hanging out, being in the outfield, kind of hanging out in his dad's office, in the training room, in the locker room. He was always around, awesome kid, super athletic his whole life. He was like a little Spider-Man. But he
that
is
was his nickname. Spider-Man. He was everywhere.
So he's a big leaguer. Okay. And the reason that I'm bringing this up is because I looked at the list of guys that were taken before Alek Thomas. Okay, including the White Sox. the kid that the White Sox took, one of them's Nick Madrigal. He's in the Cubs. The other guy is in Texas now.
Dunning?
No, an outfielder
Oh,
from Oklahoma. So it's a crapshoot when you're going in the draft. How important scouting is. He is playing every day, probably in the outfield for quite some time. He's electric on the field. I never had a doubt on Alek just because I think the way that he was built, he had been around the big leagues. It was just a matter of like making it official. Right now, the way he's starting off, okay, and I want to ask you because you obviously you are a rookie of the year. I am sitting next to a rookie of the year. What are the chances you guys think of him potentially being a rookie of the year? Do you think that it's something that he should even consider? When you come up, do you think about that? Did you think rookie of the year, I got a shot this mound year that I could have a shot?
Nobody do that.
No.
Everybody got to go down and play the best they can.
that would be really hard.
Dominate the league. Make sure you play good enough, you play hard enough. Make sure your teammate respect you as a rookie, and you respect the people around you. And that's important. Rookie of the year, you can be lucky. You can be like, wow, look at what kind of year, or somebody have better year than you. But I think the only thing you say, well, you know what, I want to play my first year good enough to people just, I don't have to go back to spring training.
And you don't, and I'm guessing it's the fear of going back to the minors.
Yep.
The fear of, you made it to the big leagues, but like Ozzie always says, is like making it to the big leagues is not the hard part. The hard part is staying.
I think it's staying.
And the hard part is, because a lot of guys, you can name a lot of guys that have been in the big leagues for 5 days.
You know how many people, be in the big league for even a cup of coffee, they even put sugar in the coffee. They never go back.
That's why I tell people all the time, I'm like, in big leaguers see it that way too. I think there's a big difference between guys that go to the big leagues and play a couple of years, blah, blah, and then there's everyday big league players.
Yeah,
there's like levels to it. And do you feel like Alek has the physical ability to probably be one of those guys? Probably. He's also in a good organization, meaning he's going to get all the time he needs to develop.
Yeah, they're not trying to win right now.
They're not trying to win right now. He's going to be playing great competition in that division because those 4 teams, except for the Rockies, but they're doing well too. He's going to go out there and play, and he's 22 years old, meaning that he's pretty much going to be in his prime the next 2 or 3 years. So knowing the kid, knowing his family, physically, he's going to be ready for the big leagues.
And then you know me that.
I mean, he just went. I don't know.
Commitment, man. He got a commitment.
I think he's got a chip on his shoulder, and
I think he wants to show everyone, especially the organization that his dad used to work for such a long time. Like, look, you missed out on me.
That, by the way,
but there's a difference. Like, you missed out on, like, oh, he made it to the big leagues. If he makes it to the big leagues and he's an impact player, that's what they say in scouting school. If he's an impact player, meaning like this guy is like great.
Okay,
that would be a big miss.
My curious.
Not Tatis wise,
put
but
it this way. It can grow up with the White Sox. But he did. He grew up with the White Sox. But he went to school.
He went to school down the street.
Well, I'm just saying that's something again.
He went
before
he went to Mark Carmel, and myself, I coached on the high school, if you haven't noticed, Lamont, and the Catholic League, we play Brother Rice tomorrow, big game. The Catholic League, which is Mount Carmel, Brother Rice, Providence, Marist, all those Catholic schools, they play, they're probably the best competition in all of that.
But I'm saying that's very Chicago. Chicago has never drafted a player in their backyard.
But I think the Cubs did draft Howard a couple years ago, the shortstop from Mount Carmel.
Correct, but I'm saying it's not something that
it's not typical for
it's not Joe Mauer. It's not Joe Mauer.
Curtis Granderson was
played on the block.
Curtis Granderson played maybe 10 minutes away from Comiskey Park, and he led the league. He was second in the league in the country in hitting for the Flames.
But they said that the conference wasn't good enough.
He hit 409, but they said the Horizon League wasn't that competitive. You hit 400. You hit 400.
Well, I'm saying the career that he had.
And Curtis played for I don't know how many.
My thought was like, okay, you have a philosophy like, okay, no family members will go to.
Okay, well,
but if this kid went across the street, they see this guy play more than his own father singing.
Well, I think the Guillens baseball show, we want to talk all baseball, and I'm going to give you guys a segment, okay, a time segment to talk Chicago teams. After that, you're not allowed to talk any more White Sox or Cubs.
I know. I'm tired of talking about White Sox. To be honest with you,
you're the one that's brought it up right now.
No,
You're about to go into a deep White
So
Sox.
I believe that.
Because that's what people need to know what's
If
going on.
you talk about the most about where the city that you're in. So if we were in Missouri, we talk about the Royals more. That's just the way. That's just the way it is.
I have to talk about the White Sox in the morning, in the afternoon.
Well, I'm just saying this, your job, but I'm saying though, okay, so let's talk about that. So they came in. I'm going to say something right now. I think that they were saved by the play at first base because they're about to take another L, in my opinion. Bases loaded, guys up. I thought that game could have gotten flipped very easily. The baseball gods chipped in. How do you bounce back? Obviously, they bounced back with the win, but was that loss of the errors in the six-run comeback of any concern for either of you guys? Like,
No.
Cleveland came in, Josh Naylor came in. Obviously, we've seen that they have a chip on their shoulder. They think that they can compete. Are they pretenders or are they contenders?
I think they're pretenders. You can't. Will they sustain this for the whole season? Most likely not, because if you look around the field, there's not a lot of, other than Jose Ramirez, they got the young kid at shortstop. They got Rosario playing left field. If they can, I think for Terry Francona and them, if they could play meaningful games in September or even
awesome.
in August, I think that would be a success.
A huge win for them.
A huge win for them. White Sox Twins on another side of the ball. They spend money. They need to be battling for the division every day. And if you guys are keeping up, the Twins are facing a better team. That's the Houston Astros. They're having a little tough time with them because Houston is a good team.
Yeah.
That's how good they are. That they take Carlos Correa out and they're still amazing.
In the mix.
Meaning their team is good.
Check the
So,
kids playing shortstop run.
He's a good player.
God.
So if you face Astros and you're one of those teams in Central, you will lose. Why? Because the Houston Astros are now one of those teams that we are getting used to seeing in the playoffs all the time. They
develop very well.
They built something great in Houston, and we don't know what's going to happen with Dusty after this year, but they're going to be there.
I think irrelevant of Dusty.
They're going to be there.
Whoever
Justin Verlander, they threw like 7 or 8 innings. He's back, and like it looked like he was playing. It was like the bullpen session.
So he's back. So going back on that one though. So obviously the White Sox are not pretenders. They're definitely contenders.
No, yeah, absolutely.
They've been able to bounce back. They say Eloy's coming back in 2 weeks. So again, a very hard series though for them coming in. Regardless of what happens in the series, I still think they're contenders. I think that the Yankees are hot, but it's going to be a good series. White Sox pitching has been able to shut down a lot of teams.
What you probably don't want is because remember last year there was talk about they don't play well against good teams. So I think this year what they want to do is have a better showing against good teams. Not maybe you could lose a series, but don't get humiliated or embarrassed.
They beat
Boston.
Boston.
Well, Boston last year was unbelievable.
But that was last year. This year,
they're
10 games under 500.
The Sunny Yankees are a good team then.
No, the Yankees, the Astros, the Toronto Blue Jays, they play well against Tampa. Those are the top teams in the American League. They haven't played well against. They lost against Minnesota. They have to come back.
What's the difference between? It's a question. I don't know about it. Between the Boston Red Sox last year and Boston Red Sox this year, they got the same lineup.
Well, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't.
Not.
Okay,
that's just simple.
All right.
I mean, last year they won. I don't know how many games.
I had them losing 100 games last year.
Yeah, and this year
I don't think they're as healthy.
They signed Trevor Story. That didn't work out for them. Kike Hernandez is hitting like 150. That doesn't help. Same team, and sometimes it doesn't work out because there's every general manager.
That's why I don't say it's a bad team. Then they just
they're just not playing well. But when you don't play well,
so I was gonna say though, okay, here's the thing. Were they a good team last year, or they just struck?
No, you don't. You are. If you maintain 6 months of playing 600 winning percentage baseball, you are a good team.
I don't think they're pretenders right now. I don't think they're contenders either. I think that they're rightfully rated. I think that it's too early to call anything out of Boston.
I think it's very early to call Boston, but I wouldn't be surprised pretty soon they start moving pieces.
Well, they might. Well,
if they were in the AL Central, I would say give them a chance. Give them a time.
But
they play in the AL East.
No, I'm talking about the person.
They even play.
Well, I'm talking about playing their personal.
When it comes to the point that they're going to start playing Toronto and the Yankees like every other week, they can be 15, 16 games.
Okay, over under. Let's make bets. Over under. Wins or losses on the Red Sox. Do they win over 80 games?
I believe they win 78, 79.
So you're going to take the under.
Yeah.
So you're going to only take the under
By 500.
on 80 games. Are they going to win or lose more than 80 games? 80 games, you lose the bet. 80 games, you win the bet. 80 or less, if you take the under.
I will take over.
Ozzie takes the over.
81 games.
So, 81 games would have to get you to win the bet. So that's the bet here on Guillens World on these two guys on the Red Sox. Here we go. The team that everyone is hurting for. The team that everyone in every sports book is looking to cash on. That team has a name, and it's Ozzie Guillen's favorite team growing up as a child. But they're not the little big red machine anymore. They're the little baby machine.
How many wins do they have?
The Reds.
That's
5. I mean, I think
The Reds are on pace to lose 136 games.
that's pretty astonishing.
Oh,
when even the Orioles are.
What's the worst team? What's the worst team you've ever played against?
He was in the league. He was in the league when I think he was in the league when the Tigers were 1-35.
Yeah, I was in the league when the Baltimore Orioles started the season like 0-24 or something like that.
Did you guys look at that and say, man? Because you played for some bad teams, though.
I play all my life with a bad team.
I'm saying though, but not that bad. But not
when
that bad.
You played for bad teams.
Who's the worst team you played for? Not too. By the way, I know who. I know. By the way, his worst teams ever played for
Tampa.
in baseball, not MLB, is Tiburones de la Guaira, but not Tiburones.
No, by the way, I never played bad Tiburones. I played good Tiburones.
No, you played. You. I seen a
Tampa,
couple seasons we had a bad.
They were the Tampa Bay Devil Rays. The Sox were never a bad team in the 90s. They're the team that won the most games in the 90s.
Yeah, in the 80s.
How about this one?
In the 80s, they did from 85 to 89. They were bad. They just weren't
contenders,
playoff teams, but they weren't bad. They weren't losing
100 games.
100 games.
So what's the worst team you ever been a part of?
I don't know.
And they had Ozzie Guillen, Harold Baines,
Baltimore.
Carlton Fisk. No, the Orioles in '97 were good.
Okay, it was a good team. Just talk about good team is about winning. That team was they had like 7 Hall of Famers.
I don't remember how many games they won, but I don't think it was that bad.
I was in last place when they released me.
Yeah, I don't think it was that
98.
That bad. Bro, in 98, because 97 they were
yeah, but the thing is, when I was with Tampa, there was that many good players. When I was with Baltimore, half of the team was Hall of Fame. Parnado, Alomar, Carl Ricken.
You're only there for 22 games.
Basie. Joe Carter.
You're only there for 22. That's probably the most disappointing. Your two most disappointing teams you ever played on.
That one
was that one, and then the 1997 White Sox.
There was more.
I don't remember
81 and 81. Terry was the manager. You guys were supposed to win.
Oh, white flag.
Trick.
The white flag.
But
three games out.
Yeah, but the thing.
If they would do that now, the thing. Okay, I mean that's the one thing that really frustrates me as a as a fan or any that would really piss me off as a player, how they expanded all these formats. You would have been in the playoffs every year.
So I have a question. That's true.
You never
lost 100 games.
You and the Sox would have been. I mean,
not every year.
90% of the time they would have been in the playoffs.
Not every year. They would have been 04, 05, 06.
No. 08. And I'm talking about playing.
Playing, yes, of course. Playing, they would have been more than
in the 90s. They would have been in the playoffs the whole time.
Correct. But by the way, they went to a playoff in the old setup of one per division.
93
was a huge year.
The 93 White Sox, what they did, going to a playoff, that to me, that was like that's before the wild card.
I'm saying in that
how
setup,
hard that is.
That's
like that is like you're fighting a division against like 12 teams.
Just like I give an asterisk for teams that win World Series in COVID season, I give asterisk a positive asterisk for teams that are like I want a World Series.
Like the Blue Jays.
What I'm saying, like I want Oakland. I want Oakland. I went back to back in divisional years.
That's hard.
I went to the playoffs 6 out of 10 years when there was you had to win the division. That's why the Braves, when that stuff's impressive. The Andrew Jones, like the Andrews last one, when they started going to wild card, but when they went wire to wire on winning the division prior to the wild card years, it's very impressive. So Cubs, we're just praying for you guys at this point.
No,
Marcus Stroman's in the DL. He doesn't know what hit him. He's hoping he gets traded.
All my Chicago people, just enjoy your summer.
Just have fun,
drinking, having a good time.
But Hendricks always he always makes me money. Nick Mandrake is always fun to watch. But again, I don't want to talk anything negative. I told David Kaplan, I said, you can't go off on these guys. They're horrible. I said, the big news is I want to see where Wilson Contreras is going to go. He'll definitely get moved before June.
He should.
That's a shame for that kid because that kid's got a great chance to play with somebody out. a great chance to sign them for a big contract.
I don't think they signed for a big
I don't
contract. Why
understand
though?
that.
Like, why would it? Again, that Marcus Stroman signing, he might get moved if he's healthy. Again, where is that Cup team going? Just be patient. We talked about where we might see Wilson. Anaheim is the team goes. Anaheim's in the race.
Yes.
And Wilson Contreras is playing while he's healthy. I feel bad for Stassi. I think Joe Madden brings
Joe Madden, we tried to get this kid signed.
Well, he's a hell
No,
of
I'm saying he's won a World Series with him. But his pitch is like, Joe, why would you want Wilson Contreras? I got a ring with him.
He's a hell of a player.
And then, and unfortunately, that our guy Stassi is out there in his brother's out there in Anaheim. But again, that's how baseball works.
He's a hell of a player.
So on the White Sox news, though, coming back from the
Minnesota,
DL, a lot of guys.
too.
Minnesota can use him too as well.
Over Gary Sanchez?
No, just like Gary DH.
Yes, over
Gary, yes.
Just play Godoy.
Yes, over Gary Sanchez.
Only player Godoy. No, so real quick on our section here. This is a section we call rants. Okay, rants is when I am a boomer or analytically or something. I go off. They can go off. It's about anything. We got a couple for them today. Rant number one. What the F was the manager of the Texas Rangers? If you ever did that, I would go on Twitter, I would tweet, my dad's an embarrassment. I would make a video saying, you're an embarrassment for saying this. Why did he complain, okay, about the walk-off home run that Gleyber's Torres hit in Yankee Stadium, saying that he hit it in a Little League ballpark? That stadium has got the same dimensions, okay, for every Hall of Famer that's gone there.
When
You know why?
right field was always a porch.
Yeah, but about Woody. Woody was so bad a player,
Wait, he played the manager?
Yeah, I think he played with Shadow. The funny thing, he played, but he played in the Little League ballpark. I don't think he ever had.
Well, I'm just saying though.
He ever have a base hit.
Well, I'm saying,
I'm going to Google tomorrow.
By the way, when he's talking about little ballparks, he played in the Rangers ballpark his whole career, meaning he played with the Rangers. Here's the part. He's a good manager.
He played Seattle with the Bulls.
I'm saying he's manager X zone. He's not a bad manager, but he's tend to say things of. That's when you go complaining wise. I love how Gleyber talked. Gleyber said, "I enjoyed my walk off in my Little League park." Do not complain. Well, and here comes my next rant. Rant number two: White Sox Twitter and everybody else. Balls are not going out, and the rumors start. The balls are not juiced. Where's the ball going? The launch angle, this ball was hit like this in 1910 and it went 20 rows up. Then the next day, somebody goes and some other team hits 10 home runs. I don't think Josh Naylor had any problem with the launch angle or how the ball was flying or not. He hit it. Ohtani, the ball that Sheets hit the other day, that ball was smoked. I don't think he had a chance. People need to stop making excuses for guys that are not going deep. Then Eric Chavez said, "Oh, we're hitting more home runs on national televised games."
I enjoy. I don't like. Personally, I don't need games.
Do you think the balls are changed though? Are your balls juiced?
It was last year.
I think the balls
were juiced last year.
Yes.
But the balls are the same.
No doubt. Why? I watch baseball every day because I have to.
Yeah.
I see balls leaving park when I play and manage it all my career there, and I said, no way.
Okay. Well, can you explain something to the fans? Obviously, there's some times when guys back in the day when you're playing, there was a quarterback and guys would hit balls and you would say, "That's awkward. That ball shouldn't leave." And you said there was a time in the 80s and 90s, you said that there was one season that the balls were juiced.
Yes. But they asked me if the ball was juiced. I said, no, the one that threw me.
Not the one. No, but I'm saying,
I'm
saying you're in the shortstop and somebody hits the ball and you're like, man, that ball should be gone. Or what? Again, win, not win. So the situation with the balls, okay, Major League Baseball is the worst at keeping secrets.
But you see,
okay, I'm saying, no,
they buy Rollins.
They bought Rollins, correct, to control us. It's okay. We had the rumors about the steroids, juicing, all that stuff, true. We had the rumors about cocaine, true. We had the rumors about sticky balls and really sticky stuff, true. This thing with the ball, I'm saying
juice balls.
I mean, someone was explaining to me, like when I was like,
they put in humidors. They put in humidors. That's a fact.
Like,
no, the balls are put in humidors.
Well, I'm saying allegedly the ones in like the home run derbies. They're like they're wider, and the ball flies better. Yeah. But again, do you buy that? Could a player come to you and say those balls are not going? That's why I'm not going.
My point is, what do you? Okay,
I don't like home runs.
What is the second call?
Wait,
what is the second call?
I don't like home runs.
Who gives a rat's ass if the balls are juiced or not? Both teams play with the same balls.
Right.
Who gives a shit if they don't go out or not? You got to score runs. Who cares if it's leaving the park or not?
Hey, you know what's funny?
Who
Because
gives a rat's ass?
every-
Both teams play.
Whoa,
It's not like
every time-
this isn't the Browns league.
Well, no, but before Ozzie talks though, this is the part that my rant is. The comment made by Joey Gallo on, well, you gotta change the shift because we're not hitting. Now with the balls, if the balls are not going out as a home run, change your strategy. Being like, hey guys, no more home runs being hit. We need to start scoring with base hits.
Don't try to
And
be
you
home
know what? I was watching again. This one I'll talk to you. You're watching the games, you're looking at it. Do you think teams are running more?
Yes, at least the White Sox.
I'm saying the teams that you're looking at, like you've been doing now baseball for a while.
Yes.
I'm saying,
Now
do
they
you
know
see teams
it,
running
now
more?
they're not, the players don't juice anymore. Now the balls not go anywhere. Now you see better strike, guys bunting you.
Correct.
guys bunting more.
We saw
A lot of
six attempts in stolen bases, like
Yeah.
just watching any random day.
And I think it's a good thing to go back to baseball. Better pitching, a lot better pitching. But you look, Ozzie, you look at team roster.
Weak.
Well,
My
correct.
God.
There's teams in first place with 4 guys hitting 175.
No, I'm telling you, wow, the White Sox, you got 5 guys here.
So again, the average doesn't matter, but like it's like average doesn't matter. Okay, I understand 240, 175 is bad in any
By the way,
metric.
hit 300 is hard.
Hit 175 is harder.
175 and play every day. That's harder.
Oh, absolutely, because most guys
And you
get
play
fired.
every day.
I'm saying though, most guys get fired after that, or most guys say I'll get hurt. I will not let myself hit 200.
But
I would go on the DL.
But that's the way it's now.
How?
A lot of people say, "Oh, we don't believe in him." Okay, idiots. The only way you score runs is when you have people on base.
Correct. We're gonna go right here, right now. Obviously, great rants. Do you guys have any more rants that you guys want to go in? People have texted me saying, please touch on the lawsuit. We don't touch lawsuits. So anything that is being discussed in the court of law, sorry, it's not gonna make the show. And that goes for all lawsuits in Major League.
But I have a
Baseball.
little rant about what happened to the White Sox and the Cleveland team today where they posted.
Oh, that's what I'm saying though.
They posted.
I posted this.
What happened?
Allegedly, there was multiple players from the Cleveland Guardians
I thought
that had COVID. I had no
COVID
idea.
was wrong.
I thought COVID was.
That's why I'm confused. I don't know what the rules is anymore. I don't know who they're going to bring new kids from AAA. I don't know. They have a taxi team.
So I'm saying though, did they test everyone at once?
Yes.
So how does that work though?
They
A
said
couple
Zach-
guys were sick.
They said Zach Plesac went out in Southern Indiana.
No. The manager, he feel kind of weird.
Oh,
He
he's
said
had heart problems.
Oh, 34 corner, no matter what, he got more problems than anyone.
Yeah, he's got a lot of physical
A
problems.
lot of physical for the last few years. But when the manager don't feel good, they test positive. I say, oh God. And they say, okay, he's not managing today. They went to the.
It's the staff.
Okay, the staff. The guy's supposed to be the manager. He
I know,
all of a sudden, they put a start.
This sounds bad. You can play an MLB game without your coaching staff. But boom.
Here's the best
But
part.
you can play, listen,
You can play.
okay,
without
by
the staff.
the way, I respect Kobe, people know how
You
to
can
feel about
play
Kobe, I got
the
my
game
best friends got
without-
Kobe, my kids got Kobe,
I got
my
Kobe.
wife, and I respect that people die because
I
Kobe.
just didn't know. I didn't know.
But everything like, okay, those guys got Kobe for last two games.
Well,
It's not like, okay, they
well,
come
that's
on,
what I mean though. Like, did anyone in the White Sox, obviously they didn't test positive. The White Sox have the best vaccinated. Again, this is brings so much.
That's
I'm like, when did they start
tomorrow,
with the COVID thing?
tomorrow, they're going to play the New York Yankees. They're going to cancel the game.
No,
New York
it's
Times.
it's
No,
Thank you.
Oh, it's sold out.
I
for
was
the White Sox.
a little disappointed at the attendance.
Oh, the attendance. I made a tweet. By the way, White Sox fans, do not write about attendance. No. Do not talk about Jerry and spending money if it's a beautiful Monday night and the tickets are $5.
I saw the promo for $27 ticket included and 3 beers. I'm like,
The beer is 34.
No, I'm just saying.
$27.
I'm just saying. At
$27.
least the bottom bowl with the nice weather out. I
It
just
should be
outside
full.
with my kids. If my kids had been old enough to like not be able to walk and run up the stairs, I would have been at the Sox game.
Oh,
I was
you
in the
were at the
bleachers.
game.
People were like, "Why in the bleachers?" I'm like, my friend just said I just bought $5 tickets. Why wouldn't I go? It was Michael Kopech. 3 years ago, they were in the rain with a team that lost like 100 games. That was horrible, managed by Rick Renteria. And Michael Kopech in the rainy games, people bought tickets and wanted to see the Phenom. Now it's Michael Kopech with a good team, the return of Moncada, Joe Kelly's debut
yeah,
versus Plesac, 34 versus 34. Nobody was there.
yeah. I don't get that. And
They've always drawn back.
Sox fans, you really need to you guys have a good team last year in the
Oni.
playoffs. You guys really need to go out to the.
We've
field.
benefited so much from the White Sox. I do not argue attendance with any other teams in the league because White Sox have always been bad at attendance. The stats are there. Even after the 05 season, when they were going into the 05, that stadium wasn't sold out. Yes, we sold out a couple games. We didn't sell out every game in 06. Philadelphia sold out 10 years in a row. Cleveland sold out 6 years in a row.
Giants.
White Sox have never been sell out every single year, even in the good years. So again, rant over on attendance. Happy birthday, Salvador Perez. Want to say happy birthday to Salvador, one of the best catchers in Venezuela. And then again,
Hey,
keep watching Anaheim.
Dusty Baker, 2000.
So Dusty, that's what we're gonna wrap it up. Dusty, 2,000 victories. How hard is to get 2,000 victories? Very hard. You know why? Because you have to be employed to get 2,000 victories. Dusty set out a couple years because he didn't have a job. He came back at Notre Dame.
I feel like Dusty's a baseball lifer.
He is.
He's giving his whole game to the game of baseball.
I love it.
I know, and Cooper Scott,
Oni.
you heard it here first. MLB is gonna induct. They will induct Dusty into.
So you know why they need to induct Dusty? You know, other than managing, Dusty was there when Hank Aaron hit the home run, and then he was there for Barry Bonds when he broke.
And they say he invented the high five.
Did he invent the high five?
He,
So not only are we friends with the guy that invented the high five, we're
Dusty-
friends with the guy who invented the batting glove.
Dusty Baker is credited with inventing the high five with the Dodgers in the late 70s, early 80s. They used to like jump and high five each other. He takes credit for it.
Well, he's
I wasn't there, but they said he invented the high five.
I know what he invents in my country.
By the way,
I winning team.
here we go. Ozzie was Dusty's bad boy. That's
Yes.
what Dusty is. Guillens World. Enjoy it, love it. We're here in Guillens baseball. Follow the YouTube channel. We'll end it with that. We love you, Dusty. Great job on 2000. And on a little sour note, we want to send our wishes, our best wishes, who he's probably in surgery, or gotten out of surgery by the time this airs. Mr. Bob Melvin and Bob Melvin's family. The game of baseball, sometimes people forget that they're human beings. And these guys, like this gentleman, dedicate their life to winning and losing. And Bob Melvin is no different. And he hangs on every win and every loss. But right now, the most important win is him coming out of that surgery positive and a swift recovery. And for his players that are there, do it for Bob. You know, get him going and win games because he's facing. I'm saying though, but now that he's not going to be there, facing surgery, get positive, keep going. Whoever's going to step in. When you become sick and you become that, and you're in that world of managers and whatnot, you always say,
Cervelli?
I don't know. I don't think.
No, the guy who worked for him for a long
time. His bench coach, I believe. But again, wishing him the best. You always hate to see managers. We're praying for him. You hate to see when guys that are dedicating so much time as a manager to the team, like coaches and whatnot, have to deal with health issues. So best wishes, and we'll see you guys here next week at Guillens Baseball and Guillens World. Have a good one.